Are you sometimes stuck for ideas and you don't know what books to create next for KDP? Have a look at this video and I'll show you how I get my ideas to create more books. Hello home bosses, my name is Nuria Corby from thehomeboss.com. Welcome to my channel, which is all about helping you to make money online. And if that sounds interesting to you, click the subscribe button and the notification bell to get more videos like this. So do you sometimes feel stuck and you don't know what books to produce? How do I find ideas to produce more books? So I thought I'd quickly show you how I do it. There's different ways of doing this, but this is one way that I find helps me, and that is just simply by going on Amazon. So once we're on Amazon, let's go to the book category and we click in books. So once I'm on Amazon Books, I have a look at the page and see what I can find. And at the top here, you can shop by category, by book category. So arts and photography, biographies, memoirs, business and investing. So we could click on any of these depending on what we want to create, but we are making low content books, so I'm sure that if I click on mystery and suspense, that wouldn't be something that interests us, or romance or sci-fi. So we're really looking at these kind of categories here, which is business and investing, children's books, cookbooks even maybe. So let's just click on children's books and have a look at that. And then it narrows it down to ages, so there's different age categories. So I really just want to have a look and see what is selling at the moment, what are people producing. So let me see if I can find best kids books of 2020. I'm just looking here to see, I'm trying to find something that says best-selling books or something like that. So let's see. Bestsellers. So we go on the featured books in children's bestsellers, and then I just quickly have a look and browse and get ideas that way. So we've got the Would You Rather book at number 1, which I was expecting they do quite well, those books. And then we have obviously kind of Harry Potter type books, children's picture books. Now, I mentioned this before that bedtime stories are very popular. So then there is a coloring book, and not only is it a coloring book, but it's I Am Confident, Brave and Beautiful. So it's like a motivational coloring book. So there's another idea for you. You can make a coloring book, but then niche it down to be a motivational coloring book. You've got a cookbook for young chefs. So you could make like a recipe book where children can write in recipes, or they can write in recipes that they have tried cooking. That's quite a popular thing. What else have we got? So we've got bedtime stories. This is another one, the ABC Learn to Write workbook. That's been selling really well for quite some time. So that's a really good book to make, and there are lots of tutorials on YouTube how to do that. And what else have we got? Again, we've got lots and lots of bedtime stories, that kind of book. By the way, I'm in the middle of creating my children's book course, so I just wanted to let you know that I am doing it. I am right in the middle of it, and I don't know exactly when it will be out, but I'm working on it as much as I can. And obviously I don't want to rush it because I want it to be a really good course. So just know that I'm working on it and that it will be out as soon as possible. So let's have a look what else we've got here. The Don't Laugh Challenge. That's quite a good book, and that's something that we could produce. So it's basically writing funny things, and people have to try not to laugh when they're reading it. So that's another one we can produce in the low content category. And what else have we got? So I can already get quite a few ideas just by looking at this. Unicorns seem to still be very popular, so lots of unicorn books. There's another really good one, a blank comic book. Now these are really easy to produce. I'll just go and click on this one so you can see what this is like. So there's not really much in a blank comic book. There's basically just a set of spaces and squares that people can then fill in with their comic characters, and they can create their own comic book. So how simple is this? This is a very simple book to make. It's quite unusual in that the cover is not very colorful. I would expect this to do better if you had a really colorful cover. I've got a couple of these books and mine are niched down into a different comic category. They're very colorful and they do well. So it's another good niche to get into, but you have to target it to an even more specific niche. And also you have quite a lot of competition in this niche. Like I said, if you target a more niched down version of this book, you make the cover more colorful, you make it more attractive. I don't see a reason why you can't do well in this niche. So this is another idea that you can think of, and it's very easy to produce them. There are lots of free templates you can use, and Tangent Templates also has quite a few of these that you can use. So this is another good idea. Let's go back. And let's go to the next page. Let's see if we can get any more ideas. So far we found the Would You Rather books, and I've got a series of videos about Would You Rather books, how to make a Would You Rather book. So I'll leave a link below this video to that series of videos that I made, so you can have a look at that if you haven't already. And the other thing are obviously bedtime stories are very popular. Comic books, blank comic books. There is quite a lot of ideas. Obviously, coloring books are still very popular. Unicorns are still very popular. So I would say to you, if you're going to create any books in this kind of niche, then have a look at the best sellers and get some ideas. Look at the niches, but also look at the kind of covers that people are creating. You can see this is a very colorful type of book because we're targeting children, so colors always work really well for that kind of niche. And, you know, maybe think about creating a bedtime story book. We can do that in the same way that we are creating low content books, and I'm working on the course, so I hope I can bring that out as soon as possible, so that is another type of book that you can create to have an even bigger variety on your bookshelf, because that's what we want to do. We want to create as many different types of books as possible so that we can find a niche that really works for us. This is another one. I just saw this, Under the Sea. The funny thing is, books that deal with the ocean and things under the sea seem to be very popular with children at the moment as well. So this is maybe something else you want to consider. And let's have a look what else we've got here. Christmas, we're a little bit late now for Christmas books, but this is something that you can consider for next year. I brought out a few Christmas books and they did quite well before Christmas, so it's always good to have some holiday targeting books in your bookshelf. So let's go back onto the first page again, and I always look at these things twice or even 3 times because I always miss something. So we've got the Would You Rather book. We know that's quite popular. A colouring book that's targeting building confidence for children. That's a really nice idea, good niche. And maybe a blank recipe book for children. I have made a few blank recipe books for adults, but I think if you can target children, that's another niche that you can go into. And what else have we got? So, oh yes, the Learn to Write workbook. That's another very popular one, something that we can easily create in KDP and make low content books about. And what else have we got? So, how to draw anime. That's another one that we can maybe combine with the blank comic books. So there's so many ideas just from looking at the Amazon bestsellers, and we're just looking in the children's section. So maybe if we go into another section, let's have a look. So let's have a look. best books of the month. Let's just take a little look here. And obviously we're not going to find many low content books here, but you never know. It's always good to check. So there's not many low content books. Best books of 2020, see the full list. Let's have a look at that. So we're looking for low content books. And again, we're not going to find too many. But let's have a look. Nope. So then what we can do is we can go on the departments. So you've got books and then all the different departments. So let's see what we can find here. Normally, low content books tend to be either activity books or coloring books, children's books, that kind of thing. So I'm sure we'll find some in those kind of categories, but there's also health, fitness, dieting, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to take a risk here and go on health, fitness and dieting and see if I can find anything here. And I recognize this cover, which is Good Days Start with Gratitude by Pretty Simple Press. This is one of the low content books that has made the couple that produces this an absolute fortune, because it's always got a really low BSR, it's selling really well, and it's a simple low content book. I'm sure you've all come across this one. I'll quickly show you. So this is Good Day Start with Gratitude. It's a gratitude journal. There's not really much inside. All the pages are the same. It's just recording the things that you're grateful for every day. And funny enough, there's no look inside at the moment, but I know from looking at it previously that it's quite a simple book that we can create. I can already see that someone has tried to copy it. You can see it here, very similar cover. It's a different author, so someone has definitely tried to copy this. I don't recommend that you do anything like this, and I know they've made money from it, but it's not. Come up with something original. So they were definitely first. This came out in 2017. This one came out in 2018, so it's very clearly a copy of this one. So I don't recommend that you do that. It worked for these people because they're obviously making money with it, but I don't think that's a good thing to do. So it's always good to come out with an original idea, because the people that produce this could turn around to Amazon and say someone has copied our book, because it's quite similar. I don't know whether that would have an impact, whether Amazon would do anything about it, maybe not. But, I just don't think it's very ethical. So try not to do this. Try and make your own book. So I would stay away from copying other people. But there's nothing wrong in being inspired by other people. They could have made this book differently. So, there's other ways you can make a cover. You don't have to copy people. What else have we got here? Let's see. So gratitude journals are always a good one to produce. There's quite a few actually that are having quite a lot of success. This is another one. I don't do the swearing thing, the cuss word things on books, because I think it's been overdone now. There's a lot of books that mention swear words, and I don't really want to add to that. So I'm staying away from those kind of things. But, someone will come up with a new idea in this, and I think that is the secret, coming up with something new, coming up with something that other people haven't thought of yet. And that is difficult. That's not easy to do. But the more you look at what other people are doing, the more your creativity will get ideas. And you never know, you might suddenly get an idea to create a book that nobody else has created. And that could be a bestseller. So I always look at these books and try and get ideas. And I think I've told you this story before. The book that is selling the most for me, I had the idea for that book when I was in a bookstore, in a physical bookstore, and I was looking at books and I saw a book that I really liked, and I thought, oh, I can make a book like this. And that is now my bestseller, and that has made me thousands of dollars just in December alone. So, it's a good idea to look at other books and get inspiration and make your own book. Don't copy other books, but just get inspiration from looking at them. So this is one way that I do my niche research. And I think to sum it all up, I would say have a look at the ideas and the niches, but also have a look at how they design their covers. What kind of colors do they use? Do they use flowers? Do they use animals? What do they use in their covers? Do they use photographs? So make a list of the kind of things that you see in any particular niche. So before you start on creating a book in a niche, make a note of what you see in other covers, the kind of colors they use, the kind of images, whether they're photographs or illustrations, and then also look at the interiors and really study your niche, see what it is about. And the other good tip is read the reviews that people leave on other books, because that is another way to find out what people want in that niche. So the days where you can just make a notebook, a lined notebook, and put that on Amazon and have a bestseller, those days are over. You can't really build a business on that on Amazon anymore. You have to change your mindset. Make better books, make better quality books, maybe with more content. Stay away from no content and go into low content and then into higher content. That is the way to go, in my opinion, for next year. And you can still practice with low content and no content. If you are a beginner and this is your first time on KDP, I would say start with no content and make a few notebooks. But if you are in this for a few months already, don't continue with notebooks. I think you are better off doing something more advanced. Notebooks are still selling. I'm not saying that they're not selling, but you have to really create a really good niche and a funny cover. Humor is still selling very well. So if you can do that, you can still have a good chance selling notebooks. But now it's really about going a step further and creating better books. And I will be concentrating on that for next year and create books with more content and better content. So my videos will be going into that kind of area as well. So you'll see me making videos on things that are a little bit more advanced as well. But of course, I'm still here for all of you that are just starting in KDP, and we are still going to give advice for everyone that's starting. And if you haven't started yet, just start by making a very simple notebook. I will leave a link to my video series on how to start underneath this video, so that if you haven't started yet, now is a really good time to start. People are saying, oh, there's a lot of competition on KDP. Well, there's a lot of competition everywhere. That doesn't need to stop you from starting. And you can still make quite a lot of money on KDP, even if you are in competitive niches. And I will bring out my December income report very soon, and you can see that it really is worth doing KDP. I'm very happy with my income for December. So just start. If you haven't started yet, come on, let's start in the new year. And if you're still doing KDP and you're finding that your sales are not as good as you want them to be, just do something different. Maybe go into higher content books or into different niches. There's still a lot of opportunity on KDP, and let's make a really good start for 2021. So hope you like this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.